Have you ever wondered why a small, shiny rock has been crowned the ultimate symbol of love? Why we're taught to spend 2, even 3 months' salary for a diamond ring? Who decided that love needed a price tag? And why do we accept it without question? Diamonds are marketed as rare, eternal, priceless. But what if I told you that almost everything you believe about them is a carefully crafted illusion? Behind the sparkle and romance is a story built on manipulation, monopolies, and masterful marketing. A global operation designed to control not just the market, but human emotion itself. This isn't just about jewelry. It's about how an entire world was convinced to worship a stone that, in reality, is neither rare nor a good investment. Welcome to the bizarre truth behind the diamond industry. A truth they never wanted you to uncover. For most of human history, diamonds were almost mythical, found only in the hands of kings, queens, and conquerors. They were so rare that even the wealthiest men of their time would spend a lifetime chasing just one. A diamond wasn't just a gem. It was a symbol of divine power, of something that could not be owned by ordinary mortals. But then everything changed. In 1867, deep beneath the dusty plains of South Africa, massive diamond deposits were discovered, enough to flood the entire world with more stones than it had ever seen. Almost overnight, something once reserved for gods risked becoming ordinary. With mines producing thousands of carats, the brutal truth became clear. Diamonds were no longer rare at all. There were more than enough to meet demand, and then some. If the public ever realized how common they had become, the entire industry would collapse, prices would plummet, prestige would evaporate, and the stone once seen as forever would become just another rock. The industry faced a crossroads: accept reality and lose billions, or engineer an illusion so powerful no one would ever doubt a diamond's worth again. Guess which path they chose. In the chaos of South Africa's diamond rush, one man saw opportunity where others saw only stones. Cecil Rhodes, a shrewd businessman, realized early on that if diamonds were no longer rare by nature, they would have to be made rare by force. Piece by piece, he began buying up mines, silencing competitors, and tightening his grip on the flow of diamonds leaving the country. This wasn't about mining, it was about control. By the late 1800s, Rhodes had built De Beers Consolidated Mines, a single empire that quietly seized over 90% of the world's diamond supply. One company, one cartel, one story being told to the world, and it wasn't the truth. De Beers understood a brutal reality. Scarcity creates value, even if that scarcity is manufactured. They didn't flood the market with their new treasure trove. They hoarded it, releasing diamonds slowly, carefully, strategically. Always just enough to feed desire, but never enough to satisfy it. Behind closed doors, they set prices, dictated supply, and wrote the rules of an invisible market. To the outside world, diamonds seemed as rare and precious as ever. But behind the polished storefronts and velvet displays, an invisible hand was pulling every string, ensuring that the illusion of rarity stayed alive, no matter how common diamonds truly were. By the 1930s, even De Beers' iron grip couldn't protect the diamond market from collapse. The Great Depression crushed economies worldwide, and suddenly, sparkling stones felt more like a foolish luxury than a timeless treasure. Demand was plummeting. Panic set in behind the velvet curtains of De Beers' boardrooms. If people stopped believing in the magic of diamonds, the empire would crumble. But instead of cutting prices or selling faster, De Beers made a move so bold it would redefine human culture itself. They decided to sell an idea, not a product. In 1947, with the help of the advertising agency N.W. Ayer and Son, De Beers launched what many call the most successful marketing campaign in history. They planted the notion that a diamond wasn't just a gem, it was proof of love, loyalty, and status. They coined a single devastatingly effective phrase: "A diamond is forever." Hollywood movies, magazine articles, glamorous photo shoots, all carefully orchestrated to embed this message deep into the heart of Western society. For the first time, marriage proposals were seen as incomplete without a diamond ring. It didn't matter that diamonds weren't rare. It didn't matter that their resale value was awful. What mattered was the story, a story powerful enough to turn a shiny rock into a sacred ritual across generations. Today, the diamond industry looks different on the surface, but underneath, the same game is being played. De Beers no longer holds a total monopoly. Competitors have risen, new mines have opened, and synthetic lab-grown diamonds now offer a cheaper, identical alternative. Yet somehow the myth still lives on. Engagements, weddings, anniversaries. The diamond remains untouched, still wrapped in the same invisible armor of tradition and emotion. The supply is no longer scarce. Vaults around the world hold millions of carats, deliberately kept hidden from the market to preserve the illusion of rarity. The scarcity you believe in? It's manufactured, carefully, quietly, relentlessly. As new players enter the game, De Beers' grip on the industry might have loosened, but the market is still shaped by the same principle. Create demand by controlling the flow, and make sure the world keeps wanting more. Synthetic diamonds, despite being chemically identical to mined diamonds, are still perceived as less valuable because the story of scarcity, heritage, and the natural stone is so deeply ingrained in our culture. And here's the final twist most people never hear. The moment you walk out of the jewelry store, your diamond loses up to 50% of its value, instantly. Unlike gold, unlike real estate, diamonds have almost no reliable resale market. It's not an investment. It's a promise built on perception, not reality. This truth is carefully concealed as the industry thrives on the idea that diamonds are forever, even though their actual worth can fluctuate wildly and they're rarely a solid store of value. A diamond may sparkle brightly, but that shine is more reflective of the desire to believe in its eternal worth rather than its true economic value. The diamond industry survives not because of its rarity or intrinsic worth, but because it has perfected the art of selling an illusion that people are willing to pay for, a promise that fades the moment you step outside the store. In the end, the story of diamonds isn't about geology or jewelry. It's about human belief. It's about how an entire world was persuaded to see a worthless spoon as priceless, to measure love with carats, and to chase a glittering dream carefully placed in front of them. Diamonds didn't become rare. They didn't become essential. They became desirable because someone, somewhere decided that desire could be manufactured and then sold. And we bought it, generation after generation, without ever asking why. The bizarre truth behind the diamond industry is a reminder that in business and in life, perception often matters more than reality. We think we choose freely, but so often our choices have already been made for us, woven into culture, tradition, emotion. Diamonds are forever, they say. But perhaps the real legacy that will last forever is the brilliance of the illusion itself.